Let's take a look at this creepy old bag of bones. Jim Carrey. The subject of the Illuminati and Illuminati symbols has become incredibly popular over the last few years, to the point where we're seeing it in practically everything now. But we're also seeing a lot more people are able to pick up on these symbols, on the symbolism, on the patterns, on the messages. With this increase in awareness comes some obstacles, some things that we need to get past. We need to go a little deeper. One thing we're seeing a lot of now is lots and lots of videos coming out with these Illuminati symbols. For instance, one thing we see a lot of now is anytime anybody comes out in a movie or a TV show or a commercial or really just anything out there flashing any kind of an Illuminati symbol or anything that has to do with Satanism, we have people immediately pointing fingers and saying, Illuminati! Which, don't get me wrong, it's very important, I believe, to be exposing these people, to be exposing these symbols, and essentially to show the world how the veil really is lifting between these dimensions. And we are living in those biblical times we've heard of, the end times. Which brings me to the purpose of this video. Actor Jim Carrey has been making the rounds here lately in the media, promoting his newest movie, Dumb and Dumber 2. Well, to begin with, let's take a look at Jimmy Kimmel himself. I mean, Jimmy Kimmel Live, his late-night talk show, is actually broadcast out of the Hollywood Freemason Lodge. There's a picture of it right there. Now, this should come as no surprise, as many of us are well aware that Hollywood and really the world system itself essentially is controlled by these Masons. And then by extension, of course, that's where we get this Illuminati. We talk about the Illuminati. It's all these secret societies. But ultimately what these people really are Satanists. They're liars. They're deceivers. These people have taken oaths of secrecy. They have taken oaths of secrecy. Blood oaths, actually. So of course these people are not going to tell you the truth, and that is that they are really working for the beast system. Now check this out. This is from a recent interview right here on Jimmy Kimmel Live. And it's Jim Carrey, of course, right there. Now, throughout this whole interview, he's making fun of the Illuminati. He's calling it the Illuminati. And of course, he's throwing out the sign there. He's got the tongue sticking out. He's making fun of it. Of course, the whole time right there, he's saying, oh, you know what that is. And Jimmy's like, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't even know what that is. I mean, this is all an act, all right? The whole world's a stage. In fact, check this out here real quick. I mean, just look at him here. He's, it's so stupid. Okay, the Illuminati is a secret society, and they're at it. I'm telling you, man, this is exactly what this is. Now, this is why you've got so many millions of people who are plugged into the Matrix and have no idea. You know, they hear Illuminati, and then they remember their favorite actor, Jim Carrey, making fun of it. Oh, okay, Illuminati. I got Illuminati, right? Okay. And that's just one example of how these people are working together to keep us all fooled. The language of symbols and symbolism is ancient, but it's only really in this past generation or so that people are starting to be able to decipher these things. Part of it also is because it's just coming out more and more. I believe it's being rushed out more and more because of kind of the times we're in. This is all the end game. This is where we're heading. We're heading towards that one world religion, the New World Order, the one world government, the Antichrist system. And Jim Carrey and all these other people are well aware of it. They know what's coming. So we investigate. You know, we do what we do. We look for the signs. We look for the symbols. And time again, we find Jim Carrey flashing them all. So here's where we're going to go ahead and take it to the next level. We got to look a little deeper. Again, we can't just be pointing fingers and screaming, Illuminati! You know, we need to go a little deeper, because there's a lot more going on here. And you can see that Jim Carrey and all the other people that are a part of that system, you know, the Illuminati, the Freemasons, secret societies, whatever you want to call it, the Satanists, these people are fighting back, okay? So we are in a war right now, and we have been for a very long time. It really is a battle, and right now we're all in for this battle of the minds of the public. So it turns out that Jim Carrey is a huge fan of Eckhart Tolle. And Eckhart Tolle is just yet another one of these New Age spiritual teachers that have made the scene over the last several years. All these guys are charlatans. All these guys are snake oil salesmen. Do you know what that means? When I see people like Eckhart Tolle and all these other spiritual mystics and seers and New Age philosophers, specifically the ones you'll see Oprah Winfrey promoting all the time, when I see these people come on the scene, that's what I see. I see snake oil salesmen. Now here's a good example of the BS I see coming from a lot of these so-called New Age teachers. This is one of Eckhart Tolle's quotes. "I emanate love and joy, complete presence and openness toward all beings." Wow, that's so deep. Gee, that's heavy. But this guy sells millions and millions of books. This guy makes a lot of money. He's on TV all the time. He travels the world. And he's got celebrities like Jim Carrey that are just absolutely in love with this guy. What I see all these so-called New Age teachers do, essentially, is they take all the wisdom from the Bible, all right, because that's where all the wisdom comes from that you hear coming out of these people's mouths. They take all this wisdom that initially came from the Bible or from Jesus Christ himself, and they kick Jesus out of it, and they kick the Bible out of it, and they give no credit there at all. And they basically take this, and then they reformulate it. They add some of their own insights or whatnot, and then they put it back out there as if this is all their original knowledge or wisdom that they're giving to you. For instance, let me give you a classic example of this, okay? Now, this quote right here is from Eckhart Tolle. "Suffering has a noble purpose, the evolution of consciousness and the burning up of ego." Okay, sure, fair enough. But see, we were told this and more a long time ago. Let's even reference back to the Bible, and I can give you Romans chapter 5, verses 3 through 5 says, "More than that, we rejoice in our sufferings, knowing that suffering produces endurance, and endurance produces character, and character produces hope, and hope does not put us to shame, because God's love has been poured into our hearts through the Holy Spirit, who has been given to us." And you can see the difference, right? Now there we have the real wisdom. This is where that originated a long time ago in the Bible, but again we have these snake oil salesmen, these spiritual hacks, giving the public the wisdom and the knowledge of Christ and of God and of the Bible without Christ, God, or the Bible. So isn't it interesting how often we'll find many of these celebrities, Hollywood celebrities, cavorting with these spiritual teachers, these New Age messiahs. This is Deepak Chopra, just another one of these snake oil salesmen. And of course, this Deepak Chopra is also endorsed by Oprah. All of these so-called spiritual teachers swarm around Oprah. Oprah is definitely a big player in the New World religion to come. Be very, very careful out there, because there are wolves coming to us as sheep. Eckhart Tolle does the same thing all these other New Age spiritual teachers do, as they combine all the religions together. He's got a book called A New Earth, and I thumbed through some of this and it didn't even take me long to start finding everything I was looking for. One thing again you'll find with a lot of these so-called New Age spiritual teachers, they're all saying the same thing. And like I said earlier, you know, they'll take all this wisdom that initially came to mankind through the Bible, through Jesus Christ, and through the apostles. They take all this wisdom and all this knowledge, they leave Jesus and the Bible and God out of it, and then they kind of, you know, spice it up a little bit. They add some of their own lingo to it, they write a little book, they put it out there, and now we got the world giving these people all the credit for this knowledge, this deeper wisdom. They also talk about this spiritual teacher that's going to be on the scene soon. You find all this language in Eckhart's work, all of it, same thing. They're all waiting on this one spiritual teacher to arrive on the scene. And who do you think that is? Another thing I found in the book is a very common concept with all this New Age stuff. It's the idea that Jesus was just a teacher. He's a great teacher, of course, but just a teacher. And essentially in the book, Eckhart compares Jesus to Buddha. Basically, he sees them as the same thing, nothing but spiritual teachers. And ultimately, what all of this is all about, and all of it's trying to achieve, is your own personal godhood, your own Christ consciousness. It's all about you being God, you being your own God. This is an old deception, been around for a very long time. It's always repackaged every few years and brought out through a new person, a new writer, a new this, a new that. It's always kind of re-released to the public every few years after it gets a slight tune-up. But now we're starting to see more and more of this stuff emerge. The question is, does Jim Carrey realize what he's doing? I mean, is he an innocent? Maybe he was kind of taken over by all this stuff. I mean, it is very powerful. Again, this is real ancient wisdom knowledge. It's just been prepackaged. It's giving credit to these people, these so-called teachers, as opposed to giving credit to the actual source, God, the Father, the Creator, Christ himself, the Bible. So Jim Carrey, does he know what's going on, or is he a willing participant? That's the question. I mean, all the signs and symbols are around this guy. We know he's got to know something, right? He's got to be involved on some level, you would think, or he's a total idiot. I don't think he's that stupid. I think he pretty much knows what's going on. Just like all these other people, all these things are coming together, all these Hollywood types mixing with these so-called spiritual teachers. We have Oprah bringing all these people into the fold. All this stuff's coming out, folks. Like I've said before, this is a spiritual battle we're engaged in. All this stuff sounds nice, it's shiny, it's sparkly, it makes you feel good, but ultimately it's going to lead us to damnation and destruction, because where we're at, whether you're a religious person or not, it really doesn't matter anymore. Open your eyes and see this stuff for what it is. We're heading that way. The writing is on the wall. I mean, you've probably seen some of this stuff already. They're already openly calling for a new world order. Okay, this should be no surprise. I mean, this stuff is out there, and this is just a couple of the stories. So we're on the way, man. We're on the way. This system is coming together in a one world order and a one world religion, and there will be an Antichrist at the top of it. Who exactly that will be, I don't know. But it's definitely worth watching. Hey, thanks for watching.